welcome to Kate Anjou's Book Reviews, the place where we shine a spotlight on indie books and their authors. Today I'm going to be talking about The Famine Witch by Stephen Black. That is available now through Quill and Crow Publishing House and also Amazon. So if you like my review, then I encourage you to go and buy it. So let's proceed. So The Famine Witch is set during the Great Famine in the 1600s in Ireland. We are following Maggie Malone, a 19-year-old, and her little brother Jinx, who's about 8, and how they traverse the streets, essentially trying to keep each other alive, warm, fed, not killed, because not only are there the usual dangers that come from sort of living in poverty, but also we have a serial killer known as Bloody Hands, and he is also terrorizing the street, killing women, and we find out a bit about him quite early on. He comes back every 200 years, kills 6 women, and then not to be heard of for another 200 years. So it's all very, very mysterious. And then we have the titular Famine Witch herself. She is called Fionnuala, and she has a really interesting journey. I don't want to say too much. This is a non-spoiler review, but her journey and the way that we see her develop comes from a very, very human place. But the way that it develops just ends up creating a lot of thought-provoking questions and senses of morality, and when is vengeance ever okay, and when is it justice and when is it vengeance. So yeah, it's a really, really interesting story. The Great Famine is a really big part of this story. It's almost like another character, because it really is more than the backdrop in terms of the settings, but it affects all the characters' motivations. It affects how people interact, their thought processes, what happens when people are under that kind of stress. And then we also have a really great look at faith and religion and organized religion. It's not preachy. It's not done in a way that force feeds you one way or other. It just takes very, very human, understandable and very vulnerable characters, puts them in certain situations and lets you decide. I think that this is a very positive book. I don't think it's one where you'll come away feeling full of doom and gloom, or like, oh gosh, humans are awful, or oh gosh, this is terrible. But it doesn't hold away from those things either, which I really respect. One of the really good things that I found about this book is how Stephen Black is able to write these very genuine female characters. Woman myself, I found that there was something in every single one of these female characters that I could either relate to, or I could understand, or I knew someone who, that character reminded me of someone, that I know personally. And nothing came off tropesy, nothing came off stereotypical. These are really full-fledged characters, and that goes for all of Black's characters. That goes for the side characters, that goes for characters that turn up for one chapter and we never see them again, or they are main hitters. Every single aspect of these characters are clearly thought about, they are clearly researched, and we see into every single one of them, no matter what, how fleeting their appearances may be. The setting is this very rich setting of Belfast in the 1600s. You can hear all of the noise and smell all of the smells, not pleasant, and you can really just get this sense of this world, which is a real place. These events did happen with the Great Famine, and people were dying of disease, and people were being traded off and fleeing towns and looking for salvation. In amongst this, though, we have this supernatural story about witches, and as someone who is very spiritual, and I would say that if I were to have some sort of faith or religion, I don't really like using that term, but you know, some sort of thing like that, mine would be paganism. And I found that this had a really good understanding of what Wiccan paganism is about in terms of the balance of things, and there's not one good thing, there's not one bad thing, it's all, everything comes in together. And I think that that was done really well, because there are characters that we really don't like, but they're not just villains. There's always something motivating them. There's always something that we see that is other than just, we're evil and I'm gonna do this, and you know, there's always something. And I think that's what makes this book really, really interesting, is that character dynamic. And the way that it's written is beautiful. And I mean, this cover is stunning, isn't it? Really, this cover is absolutely gorgeous. And on my Instagram and TikTok social media, I put out my opening of this, and you can see the cover inside that's hidden. There's a beautiful emblem on the front, and yeah, so I mean, it just looks gorgeous. So even if you just buy books because they look pretty, yeah. There is a lot that this book has to say. I think that it's not about one thing, it's multifaceted, truly. And I think if you enjoy strong characters and good plot progression and just very interesting dynamics, I think that you're going to get a lot from this book. We've got witches, serial killers, history, religion. We've got great characters. We've got children. We've got adults. We've got the elderly. We have family trees almost. You see all these women go from, you know, descendant to descendant to descendant, and you see this whole line of these very strong women that have this thing in common. And I think that there is just so much that this book has to say. You can get it from Quill and Crow Publishing House, or you can also get it on Amazon. It is out now. I implore you to go and buy it. It's available paperback, hardback, and Kindle. So however you read, it's there. And yeah, just go buy it. It is a 5 out of 5 for me, and I can't wait to let me know if you buy it. Let me know what you think. Drop it in the comments. Or get on my social media pages. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram at kate.orangejuice.review. Wait, no, you can try that again. You can find it at kate.orangejuice.book.reviews. It'll all be down below anyway. It'll all be in the episode blurbs. And then you can also get me on Facebook at just Kate Orange Juice Book Reviews, and you can email me at kateorangejuicebookreviews@outlook.com. Thank you very much for tuning in, and the interview with Stephen Black will also be uploaded, unless you are listening as a podcast, in which case just stay tuned and you'll hear it right now. And then next episode, I will be reviewing Ashen Heart by Sabrina Vorman, and there will be a follow-up interview with that also. Thank you very much.